Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Sierra. At the end of season 7 of The Walking Dead, we were asking all of you guys what you thought about us starting to react to Fear the Walking Dead. There was a lot of really interesting answers and opinions about that. There were a lot of people that were like, oh yeah, you should check it out, you'll like it. Some saying, no, it's terrible, don't waste your time. And a lot of people just saying, even though it's made by the same people, it is nothing in comparison to The Walking Dead. Because me and Mikkel knew that the first season was 6 episodes just like The Walking Dead's was, we decided that we'd watch it on our own, and depending on how we felt about it, we would proceed with season 2. Me and Mikkel enjoyed it, so we do plan on posting a reaction to each episode of season 2, hopefully to get caught up by the time season 3 begins. This video is just a quick, very quick, brief review of everything that happened in season 1 from my personal opinion. So it starts off with Nick. He is a heroin addict. He wakes up in a church that I guess him and his friends and his girlfriend get high in. He's calling for his girlfriend and she's not answering. He goes looking for her and he finds her and she's eating another guy's face. He freaks out, takes off, gets hit by a car, gets taken to the hospital. His family comes to see him. He tells them what he saw and what happened, and they think he's insane. His mother, Madison, is dating a guy named Travis. Travis decides to go to the church to see what Nick was really talking about. He doesn't see any walkers, but he does see a ton of blood, and it's very clear that something terrible did happen there. Eventually, Nick escapes from the hospital and goes and finds his friend Calvin, the guy that sold him the drugs, and asked if there was anything wrong with the batch or if he sold him something laced with something else because something really, really bad happened. A heroin addict coming to his dealer and speaking negatively about the product and obviously looking a little strung out or coming up on some withdrawals or something, saying something crazy, this guy Cal decided to just take him on a drive out into the middle of nowhere and tried to kill him. Nick wasn't having it. They had a little back and forth with a gun. Cal ends up getting killed. And I'm kind of fuzzy, but I know that somehow Nick gets a hold of his mom. They come to pick him up. He's like, he was right here. He was just right here when he shot the guy. They see him and he has become a walker. The parents get out of the car, go to talk to Calvin. Nick reverses the truck and runs over dude and he gets right back up. Runs over him multiple times and he keeps getting back up. They cannot believe what they're seeing. And then he finally falls down and doesn't get up again, but it's still evident that he's still alive. The mother, Madison, is a counselor at the local high school. Travis, the boyfriend, is a teacher at the high school. There's a young boy, he sneaks a knife into school because I guess he already knows what's been happening. And she talks to him about it, confiscates the knife. He just says, man, some serious stuff is coming and we gotta be ready. And there's also some viral videos going around with a police officer shooting somebody and he keeps coming at him. A lot of people didn't think that the videos were real. A lot of people start getting sick. They start calling school off. Madison, she goes back to the school to see if there were any drugs in the confiscated locker that could help her son come off of his heroin withdrawals. She finds the same young boy that she took the knife from, and he's actually trying to load up and stock up on food from the cafeteria for his house. And he's like, can I have my knife back? He gets the knife. They kind of talk about the outbreak and what's going on. And then they run into the principal of the school. He has become a walker. They kind of have a tussle with him. And the boy loses all the food, but they just take off and they get out of there. Travis also has a son that's around the same age as Madison's daughter, Alicia. He is on a bus going downtown and seeing the riots and all the crazy things that are happening in LA. His parents, Travis and Liza, go after him and they end up, it gets so dangerous and wild that they run into a barber shop. This guy's like closing down the doors of the barber shop and he's like, can we come in please? We need somewhere to hide. They get to know a man named Daniel, his wife Griselda, and their daughter Ophelia. They see walkers going by the front of the shop, people setting cars on fire, just acting insane, and the wall starts to get hot and catch fire, so they have to make a run for it. They take off. out of the barber shop. Somehow a scaffolding falls on Daniel's wife Griselda and crushes her leg. They plan on taking her to a hospital, and as they're driving by the hospital, there's like soldiers with machine guns shooting patients that are coming out, and they're like, man, we're just gonna have to go to my house. We'll be okay there. We'll figure something out. Madison, Alicia, and Nick, they're at their house, you know, and they go over to the neighbor's house. They've lived in that house the kid's whole life. And neighbor, a woman named Susan, was a babysitter for her children when they were younger. They go over there to check to see if she's cool or to get supplies from her or something like that. And she has turned into a walker, and she's in the backyard. Also, a dog shows up at the house. They're all over in the neighbor's house, and then somehow a walker gets into their house and eats the dog. Travis, Liza, Christopher, Daniel, Ophelia, Griselda, they all show up at that same time. And this dude Daniel, he just shoots the guy. Travis has a hard time with it because that was one of their neighbors, you know what I mean? And they don't want to accept the fact that when you turn sick like this, there's no coming back from it. And there's a moment that made me think of The Walking Dead a lot where Travis really wanted to bury the guy, and Daniel was like, no, you need to burn his body. How do we know that keeping his body around, the disease won't spread? I think he still ends up burying him. But I skipped something. Going back just a little bit, I don't know the name of Alicia's boyfriend, but I was really excited to see him because I love the show The Wire, and he was on that show when he was a really little kid. I loved him, and I'm really sad he didn't survive on the show longer too. Before everything started going crazy, they were supposed to meet up and like go to the beach together and hang out, and he never showed up. She goes to his house, and he's sick. The parents are there too, and they see that he got bit on his neck. They see that this is how it spreads. So already in Fear the Walking Dead, they are miles ahead of where the original group was in The Walking Dead. They immediately see that regardless of how you die, you come back as the dead. For instance, Nick shot Cal, and then they hit him with the car, and he keeps getting up over and over again, you know what I mean? He wasn't bit, he just died, and he came back as a walker. Very quickly, might I add. Then they see that Alicia's young boyfriend got bit, and he had a fever, and they're guessing that he was gonna eventually become a walker as well. So Alicia and her boyfriend had to say a little goodbye to each other. If you love me, you'll go. I'll be okay. My parents will be home soon. Don't worry about me. And that was the end of that. Now that everybody's in the same house, when the military shows up, eventually they take Daniel's wife because she has a crushed leg, and Travis's ex-wife, Liza, she's like a nurse or something like that, so they take her to help, and they are doing like a little health screening on Nick, and because he's having withdrawals from the heroin, he has a fever, so they take him because they're suspicious, you know, they don't want this outbreak to get any worse. So they end up amputating Griselda's leg. I guess she had just been sick too long without the proper health care, and she went septic. I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe that's like a blood poisoning or something, but she was hallucinating really, really bad in the end. Liza, because she knows her, decided that she would be the one to damage the brain. When the military shows up and starts putting up barricades, promises of food and clean water and doctors and medicine until LA is restored, nothing ever really happens. They're really, really skeptical of the military's plans, so the daughter Ophelia of Daniel kind of seduces one of the soldiers. They torture him, and they find out all kinds of information. All of their family is freaking out, making plans to get their people back. Madison sneaks out of the fenced area. The soldiers told them that there's like a huge mile radius around this neighborhood that it's completely clear and completely safe, and that there's like multiple neighborhoods that are like set up and fenced off. Madison sneaks out. She sees healthy, regular humans with a gunshot to the head. which means they were killing normal people that weren't even sick, that weren't even showing signs of being sick. That really, really raises a red flag in Madison's mind. So they make these plans. After they torture that soldier, the soldier tells them what cobalt means, and that was something that they were hearing a lot on his walkie-talkie after they took him hostage. Cobalt is something along the lines of they were completely about to abandon all these neighborhoods because they know there's no help coming. They know this is a done situation, and they were just going to leave all these people behind. Madison and Travis and their whole crew decide that they are going to go to the military headquarters, go rescue their people, and take off and go to the desert. After they get all the information from this soldier, there's like a stadium of some sort that has tons of walkers in it. He goes up to the front gates, he lets these walkers loose, and chaos happens. But that opens a window of opportunity for them to try to get in there and save their people. Nick meets this dude named Strand. He's a really sweet talking guy. He's like bribing all of the soldiers with cufflinks and watches and promises of money and things like that. I'm assuming after everything like settles down. When all hell breaks loose, Strand had a key. He let himself out. They have all of these healthy people in these like fenced off pens in this building. It's crazy. And they couldn't save everybody, so they basically took off and went on their own. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody's united. The soldier shows up. When I first watched it, I thought that soldier shot Ophelia in the chest. But I guess he just shot her like in the shoulder, so she didn't die. But Travis has had his last straw. Travis beats the mess out of this dude. And Strand says, we need to head west. We need to get to the water. They go to Strand's house. At the very end, Travis's ex-wife that went to help as far as nursing the sick people, she got bit in the scuffle to get out of like the military compound. Travis shoots her, and the son hears the gunshot, and they all go down there, and they're really, really upset about it. As of right now, the plan is for them to get on this boat. I'm really, really excited to see what happens next. Before this show even happened, you know, in the last few weeks, I've always thought if the Walker apocalypse happened, my first instinct would be to head to San Francisco, California, to go to the island of Alcatraz, because it's a prison on an island. Does it get any safer than that? Food may be an issue, yes, but still, I just think that would be an absolute genius place to go. I'm curious what's going to happen as far as being on the water with walkers and stuff. Mikkel and I were talking, and the only time that we've really seen walkers in water was in season 2 of The Walking Dead on Herschel's farm. Down in the well, there was that walker who was all bloated from the water, but he was totally still alive and fine. Just in season 7, when they went out to that boat to get those supplies, there were a whole bunch of walkers in that pond. But I don't feel like it was deep enough. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea how it's gonna work. Also, remember that like soldier or that guy that the governor killed, and he like chained his foot? I don't know how he did it, but the governor killed some dude and threw him down in some water, and he like looked down and he saw the walker grabbing like this. So we know that walkers can't die unless there's something that happens to the brain. But I'm not trying to get deep, but it's just what I've thought about, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. If there were walkers that like got way out into the ocean, the deeper they go, the more pressure. You know what I mean? So maybe their heads would, I don't know. But I'm really excited to see what could possibly happen on the water, you know? From my impression, it's going to be really safe, but I don't think they plan on staying on water forever. So wherever they dock is where they're going to find their next problems. There's some really, really interesting personalities and characters, you know what I mean? Nick being a heroin addict and just living like that kind of life, got to do what you have to do to survive, or do whatever you have to do to get what you need. I really feel like he's going to be really resourceful, and he's going to come in really handy. This dude, Daniel, he has some type of military or some type of experience with torturing and surviving and stuff like that. He is a monster, and I think he's going to be an awesome asset to the team. He just lost his wife. I'm sure he's about to be heated about that and take out some aggression in season 2. Also, Madison really impressed me as a character, opposed to Travis. When they were torturing that soldier, she was like, do what you have to do to get these answers. But Travis has been the one that's like really trying to hold on to humanity, hold on to the fact that there still is goodness in people and stuff like that, you know. These people are going to have to learn really, really quick, just like everybody in The Walking Dead did, you know what I mean? But I really, really think that it's going to be a really, really interesting situation. I'm really, really excited to see what happens. For now, that's all I've got. If there's anything that I missed or anything that you would like to talk about, please talk about it in the comments below. Our plate is pretty full coming up because we are going to be trying to post Fear the Walking Dead Season 2 as fast as we can so we can keep up with the new episodes of Season 3 as they come out. But I know that Season 3 and Game of Thrones are going to cross paths. So for now, we're not really taking suggestions on shows that we should start, but as soon as Game of Thrones ends, we definitely will be looking for something new to react to. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.